My Lord,
Yeah.
if I may say, my Lord,
Yes, sir.
and I'm saying this with greatest respect to Advocate Mnisi, I'm really taking exception for his, because I'm struggling even to find the right word, because I really I regard his utterances, the last one that he made towards me, in terms of ethics, as disrespectful, and is not maintaining the decorum of this court, my Lord, because I was asked to comment by the court. It's not me who just came in while he was talking, and I don't understand how could it be unethical of me to respond to the court, because the court invited me to say something and I've said it. So his really acerbic statements, as Advocate Baloyi have said, are really not sitting well with me, my Lord, and I really want to plead with him that please, I don't take kind to what he's saying. I think it's uncalled for. I really think it's unnecessary. Can he really try to contain himself? And
may I respond, my Lord? May I respond?
This is the thing, my Lord. I'm not even done. You see,
Yes,
this is,
because he'll never be finished, Gininda. May I respond, my Lord?
He
The
says,
court
he says it's not yet finished. He says so, not me. Yeah, you're saying?
this is the point, my Lord. These are the things that I'm saying, that I understand that we are here simply to assist the court to come to a finding. There is nothing personal from me towards Advocate Mnisi. I simply request the same treatment from him. And I do not think it's respectful and also maintaining the decorum of this court that when the court is talking to me, he then jumps in and wants to criticize me for answering what the court is asking me, my Lord, or asking me to comment. That's all I need to say, my Lord.
Yeah, fine. Let's hear you.
My Lord, the court is busy talking about arrangements for the inspection in loco. Then the court, amongst others, says, have we ever heard about a train that has fallen onto a freeway, or a plane that has fallen into on a freeway? That is outside the context of the testimony that we've been busy with. And then there comes Gininda. He says, just like what could have happened to Mohale when he took accused from filariae to phosphorus. What was the relevance of that, my Lord? What was really the relevance of it? Because the court was not there. The court is just making a very wide example, which is why I said to Brigadier Gininda, can you please be ethical? We don't talk about, this is not the stage at which we're talking about the merits of the, why do we have to factor in that point? What is it that is trying to plant into the mind of the court? And I said to him, next thing he'll be crying about him not being respected when he himself does not respect himself. And I said to him, that is unethical, and it is indeed unethical. Thank you.
When are you guys going to start respecting each other? You know, this trial is watched by the whole of South Africa, I'm told. And they can see how us blacks, and when I mention blacks, people will say, hey. I mean, it's us doing all this. So when are we going to respect each other? Because we all are supposed to be officers of the law. And we all are charged with this case to do our best of the roles which this case forces us to undertake. You as the investigator, he as the prosecutor, me as the judge, and the defense advocates here. And then they accuse themselves, and even the audience listening, as to how do blacks conduct courts. Because it's about blacks. We told you, these guys can't run this country. Look what they're doing. And I read what these guys, I read the other day, and people thought, I'm wasting time to say how we must behave. And I'm not going to read it today. I'll read it again tomorrow morning. How we should respect each other, treat each other with respect. That's it. Any comments, Mr. Baloyi, about the conduct of us, all of us here?
I think talking over somebody else, it's just simply unacceptable, my lord. I think if someone says something that one doesn't agree with, one can always, at the later stage, when that person has finished talking, to then take up that point, but not to directly confront that person and talk over him. I think that is not acceptable, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Doctor, you're also sitting here. Let's hear your view.
I share the same sentiments that we gave to completely out of line just to confront colleagues in open court.
I've heard you, Mr. Mnisi. You, Mr. Ramsipedi?
My lord, the principle is clear. The quorum must be maintained at all times by all officers of this court, my lord. As the court insists.
Right, Mr. Umalo.
Yes, the decorum must be respected and maintained at all material times. But I think at some point, cases might not go with emotions.
Okay, let's read this, all of us. It's on section 166, chapter 2, conduct of proceedings. Requirements, it's on page 22-53. It's Himstra, we all have read it, I'm sure. It says, requirements, courtesy. The questioner may never go outside the bounds of decency. Where the limit is, and you may differ from one witness to the next, but courtesy is always expected from an officer of the court, like we claim to be. Furthermore, courtesy costs nothing, and practitioners owe it to the court and every witness. The dignity of the witness may never be ridiculed. The court warns against the tendency of cross-examining to sneak in personal opinions on the witness's credibility, including crude variations such as, "Now you are lying," not only is behaving in an insulting manner towards the witness an abuse of the right of cross-examination, it is also a contemptuous assumption of the court's function as the sole arbiter of credibility. Cross-examination should tell the witness, the cross-examiner should tell the witness that he or she will argue at the end of the case what the witness's answer should be and that it should be rejected, etc., etc. Everyone is entitled to be addressed decently by his or her surname and title in court. The use of addresses such as witness or accused have on several occasions been disapproved of their meaning. It is simply not acceptable to address an adult by his or her first name. The court in Tswai pointed out that especially the humble amongst us should be treated with respect and understanding, with respect and correct and timely admonition. That's what he's saying. There are other things they say. But we are deficient in that. Okay. So let's hope to behave ourselves. I mean, me, I'm being told, why ungabuzi lona? Why ungabuzi lona? I mean, you never address a judicial officer like that. If a judge makes a comment, you shut up. That's how we were taught. You keep quiet. If a judge has offended you, you ask to see the judge in chambers. You complain, fine. But this thing of arguing with the judge in open court like this, people see that you don't care for the judge, you don't even respect that judge. The same thing happens with witnesses. You may differ with a witness when he gives evidence, but respect his opinion. Now we're fighting every day here in this court. We're fighting about decorum, 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 decorum. Okay, let's come tomorrow then.
Sukuyakusasa-ke bafowethu.